I love you guys. Welcome to the Torg Stories Podcast. Today, Ann and I are talking about the story Santaland Diaries. I came up with my own elf name. I gave Ann an elf name. The Santaland Diaries is named in part the inspiration for the Will Ferrell elf movie, Maybe a Little Christmas in New York, Boone, and L.A. And happy holiday season. What expectations do you have for the next 15 days?
Happy holiday season to you and to our listeners. Just want to mention it's by David Sedaris. You didn't mention that, so let's always
I know
give
I had so
credit.
much to get in. It wasn't my best intro. I'm sorry.
Let's give credit to the author.
If you watch on YouTube, I got on my Jordan Nike Christmas shirt.
Yeah, loud green shirt, more green than red. Great.
I know I don't think I look good in it. Um, but I got it at $5 in Gatlinburg like 10 years ago at an outlet. So I
Uh,
was like, I have to get a Jordan Christmas shirt. I know I'll wear it at least once a year.
I do think they'd be great socks. That pattern would be some great socks.
Nice. I wore it to Charlotte's game at Lee's McRae. Head coach G caught her in the hallway. She complimented my shirt. So I'm gonna change it after this, but I put it back on for the pod.
All right, well, great. I don't have any Christmas attire. I have no Christmas paraphernalia in my apartment at all. Zero.
Paraphernalia.
I was thinking, what do you call it? Decorations, I guess. I have no Christmas decorations in my apartment. My expectations are not huge, but there is a little bit something in the air, even in Southern California, despite it being, 70 degrees. I've been to the Grove a lot. The Grove is filled to the brim
I
with
bet.
people and is also filled to the brim with decorations and that sort of thing. Plus, I can't say I'm walking the streets a lot at night, or in the dark, I guess. But now it gets dark so early. Yesterday, I went to see a movie at Century City, and it got over about 5, and I decided, and it was like 16 minutes to the bus, and I always take the bus to the Century City just because I don't want to park there. And I decided to walk home. Excuse me.
There we go.
Oh, bye. Sorry about that. I decided to walk home. So I actually walked through Beverly Hills. I walked through on Melrose, saw all sorts of Christmas lights, things lit up, things that I didn't know existed.
Yeah,
So it
I
really
bet they
did
do a
kinda-
good job there.
Yeah, they do. But I looked down Rodeo Drive. I didn't walk down Rodeo Drive, but I looked down it. All the palm trees wrapped in lights. It was pretty. Lots of buildings, lights. So yeah, it's getting me in the spirit. A little bit of Christmas decorations across the street from me, right next to the Jewish school. So it's kind of funny. There's this Jewish school, and then there's Santa and Christmas trees right next to it. So yeah, I'm getting there. We have a holiday party at work next week.
Holiday party for me tomorrow.
Yeah, holiday parties always get you kind of in the spirit,
At a
right? That's
brewery.
fun. Yeah.
Brewery
So, well,
slash
ours is
bookstore.
in our office, but yeah.
I'll have to go after practice late. Megan, my wife Megan, has informally observed she thinks Christmas lights are up this year.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, up in
Just
terms
more
of
people.
volume.
No,
Yeah.
more people have decorated. Maybe we're just out and about more at night. And I posted a picture. If you go to thetorg.com, I put a picture up of Tweetsy, which is decked out for Christmas. Ann will drive by it when she comes to visit. And then, to use Ann's phrase, I added some Christmas paraphernalia to the podcast look. I've got the Elf on the Shelf is sitting there next to my book, Love on the Big Screen, and Ted Lasso. There's also a little container of candy cane. So I'm getting in the spirit.
Right. Got some paraphernalia as well. Yeah, so I'm getting in the Christmas period. I'm getting ready for my trip on the at 12:26 or something a.m. on the Christmas Eve morning. I will be
So
flying
after
in.
midnight, you're talking about?
Yeah, I leave at
Oh
12:26
my.
on Christmas Eve. First I thought, oh, why did I pick Christmas Eve to get there? I thought
Why?
that's weird.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there so early, it's not so bad because I'm going to be there like at 8 or 10.
You're gonna get there on Christmas Eve. You're gonna get to our house.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
And I'll probably be at your house like by 10 or 11 in the morning, so
Yeah.
it won't be bad.
All right, great. Can't wait, Ann.
Can't wait. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, we always have to sort of maybe we'll podcast from the living room sitting next to the Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, and you can use your 2 microphone setup that you got either
Yeah,
last
I've actually
Christmas
been
or
using the
Christmas
mixer.
before. Oh, okay.
So I have been getting some use out of it.
Some professional mixing.
All right, I do have a couple sentences to introduce the Santaland Diaries. Santaland Diaries is the writer David Sedaris' account of two Christmas seasons he spent working as an elf at Macy's department store in New York City. Let's hear the first two paragraphs to get a sense of the story. Sound good to you, Ann?
Sounds great.
All right, here we go. And this is appears in a David Sedaris collection called Holidays on Ice. Someone gifted that to me. I'd have to go get the book and read the inscription. Maybe it was Megan.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, who else is gifting you stuff?
All right, here we go.
Frankly,
Well,
yeah.
this is a long time ago. Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Oh, this came out in December of 92. No, okay, so it was read on NPR in December of 92.
Okay.
Elf came out 11 years later.
Yeah. Things all blurring together. The years are all the same.
All right, here we go. I was in a coffee shop looking through the one ads when I read Macy's Herald Square, the largest store in the world, has big opportunities for outgoing, fun-loving people of all shapes and sizes who want more than just a holiday job. Working as an elf in Macy's Santaland means being at the center of the excitement. I circled the ad and then I laughed out loud at the thought of it. The man seated next to me turned on his stool, checking to see if I was a lunatic. I continued to laugh quietly. Yesterday, I applied for a job at UPS. They are hiring drivers for the upcoming Christmas season, and I went to their headquarters filled with hope. In line with 300 other men and women, my hope diminished. During the brief interview, I was asked why I wanted to work for UPS, and I answered that I wanted to work for UPS because I like the brown uniforms. What did they expect me to say? I'd like to work for UPS. In my opinion, it's an opportunity to showcase my substantial leadership skills in one of the finest private delivery companies this country has seen since the Pony Express. I said I liked the uniforms, and the UPS interviewer turned my application face down on his desk and said, "Give me a break."
Give me a break. Although that's why I would want to work at UPS too. I like their uniforms. I think I look good in brown. I would enjoy
Nice.
wearing the brown socks and the brown shorts. So I'm kind of with David on that. And also, yeah, these are stupid questions. Why do I want to work here? I need a job. I need money. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Let's shoot. Oh yeah, I have been told I look like I'm working for UPS. Like if I put on a certain outfit, and someone in my life will say, "Torg, that looks like you work for UPS," which
Do
I
you
think
wear a
is
lot of
seen as
brown on brown together?
yeah, I think that's seen as a negative when you actually don't work for UPS.
Maybe. You have a look of a guy who could work at UPS. Sure, I believe that. Maybe you're a little old now.
So you
But
you you know that I once this prompted an interview story for me. You know that I once worked for the TIS Book Company in Bloomington, Indiana.
right.
And we
TIS been there many times.
so we should probably pause to say congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana, located in Bloomington, where my little story takes place, and where Anne is an alum.
Right. I actually did watch. I got home like a maybe 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I saw they were ahead. I watched the last Ohio State drive. Thought, oh my God, they're going to score a touchdown. What a bummer, but we still have time. And then it was like, oh, no, we stopped them. Great. They're going to have a field goal. They're going to tie it. Missed a field goal. Greatest thing on earth. Uh, feel bad for the kicker, I guess. Not really, but and then we won. So yeah, surprisingly, I watched the last 3, 4 minutes and enjoyed it. Go Hoosiers.
Last night, crazy high school football game to go to the state title.
Go
Watauga,
Watauga.
Watauga hosted. This is in North Carolina. Who did we even play? I watched the whole game. Oh, Northern Guilford, over by Greensboro. 43-42, probably 30-yard field goal by Northern Guilford to win at the buzzer. Missed it.
So Watauga won.
Watauga won
Well, congrats,
off to the
Watauga.
state championship. They'll be playing at UNC on Friday.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
Yeah.
Ann, I'm going to circle back to this later, but I texted Ann Hoosiers Buckeyes this afternoon. Here's Ann's text back. Yes, I will miss it seeing a movie, but hope they win, but also expect them to lose.
Right. You should always expect to lose. Then when they win, you're just happy. And when they lose, you're like, I knew it. So no disappointment available.
So this
That's why I'm
story,
going to go for the Colts games now. I'm going to be like, I expect them to lose.
all
So
right, Colts coming up later this afternoon. Big
yeah,
game.
and not feeling great about it.
So we're reading the Santaland Diaries. David Sedaris, early in the story, he's applying for a job as an elf. And any memories, any thoughts on New York or Macy's for Christmas? Um, I'm guessing you haven't been to see Santa at Macy's.
I haven't been to see Santa. I haven't been to see Santa probably since I was, I don't know, 8 years old or something. My thoughts on Santa or thoughts on Macy's, great place for Christmas time. I don't know how it is now. I'm sure it's similar to how it always
Let
was. I
me
feel like
say that I looked it up, and the main change I saw is that you have to make a reservation to see Santa.
reservations would be good
Probably a
after
good
reading
idea.
this. I mean, I would never wait 2 hours to see Santa. I mean, I don't have kids, so who knows what I would do, I guess. But Macy's, great place, great New York. I do feel like Macy's in general has had a downgrade, but maybe Christmas Macy's is still up there.
It looks big to me just from the website.
Top of the shop, yeah. And it's in one of just reading the story, there's like 6 7 Santas or something. I mean, that's pretty amazing stuff. So hats off. Christmas time in New York City, pretty cool, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Megan says that she really misses New York at Christmas. I don't
I
know that I
agree,
feel that,
Megan.
huh?
I
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, I'm trying to think what the highlights are. The windows are pretty cool. So you walk down Madison Avenue, right?
It's the energy, it's the vibe, it's all the
Okay.
people in the street shopping. You
We've
can
we've
even get
all
that going to any mall. It's like, oh, there's tons of people here and they're having fun.
yeah.
And so being on the street makes it even better, and all the lights and windows are the best.
So me and the kids and Megan, we have ice skated at Rockefeller Center. We've certainly more than 1 year walked up and down where most of the stores are. And then I posted on the Torg.com, and it'll also be part of the image that we share on social as a couple pictures. And I sent it to you, Anne, a picture of the girls with Santa at Macy's.
Oh, that was actually at Macy's. I
Yes.
didn't.
Oh, I should have included that.
Yeah, I just thought it was a Christmas
No, that
Santa
was it. So
picture.
that was everything. Sedaris, everything
Okay.
he describes it great. Especially the like tree of knowledge, whatever that tree is. It's a weird looking tree. So we've done it all at Macy's.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't realize that. Do you recall how long you had to wait or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually was asking Megan about it to see if my memories jived with hers. I kind of remember going on, an off day being like Monday or Tuesday,
Right.
and going early, like 9 or 10. So my memory is that we lived in Queens. We took the subway to Manhattan, another subway, which goes, of course, to Penn Station. That's Madison Square Garden. Macy's is right there, right? 34th Street. And so probably waited in line, 45 minutes. Isabel incredibly didn't cry. Izzy usually totally freaked out at the strange man Santa, but it went pretty smoothly, and it was amazing, and the kids thought it was awesome, and I don't remember being irritated at all. And we obviously bought the picture. I don't remember what we paid for it or when it came.
Right. 45 minutes is still a long time for going on an off
Hmm.
day, being early in the
It was
morning.
sort of Disney-esque in that there was so much going on while you waited in line. Trains
Right.
everywhere, I mean, I don't know if we saw the penguins that Sedaris explains, but there's a whole bunch of stuff to look at in line, which was almost as fun as doing it.
Right. It's like a whole experience. Yeah.
The other thing we did was, and I don't know what made us do this, we went back after Christmas. And I feel like everything in Macy's that had to do with Christmas was 75% off.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
and so our living room right now has things in it that we bought. This is when my kids are 7 and 4 or 5 or something. So it was like, a snow globe with Macy's in it and a train and that, so we still have all that stuff. So I highly recommend that go back for the sale.
Yeah. You stocked up. It's the best time to buy like a new tree or something too,
Yeah.
if you have artificial trees. So yeah, great
And I
move.
didn't know we were going to give Christmas shopping tips. We did it.
Yeah, and we're probably the worst Christmas shoppers in the world. Do you have any personal memories as a boy sitting on Santa's lap? Because I don't think I remember it at all.
No, I just sort of vaguely, I can kind of remember the Santa setup at the mall in Logansport.
I vaguely can remember, but I think I remember it from pictures of just standing there and not wanting to stand on his lap and crying.
I remember getting up after I went to bed on Christmas Eve, peeking in the living room, and Nina was halfway through setting everything up for Christmas for Santa. So that's when I was like, oh, it's Nina.
Yeah, I remember seeing my mother, but I think she had like a red robe on, so I was still like a little
Same.
confused.
Wonder if we
Like,
saw that together.
yeah, maybe you woke me up and we went down there, and I was like, I mean, it could be mom, but it could be
Maybe it was
Santa. I
Santa.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I'm turning to page 5, and I've got some sections to read. I'll let you pick a section. after this. My question, this is something I do in class a lot. We read a section of text for some reason or another, and then my question for you, Anne, will be, so we sort of get Sedaris's expectations for moving to New York City. I can kind of share my expectations for moving to New York City. And then I'm wondering, what did you think you were getting in LA? So I'm on page 5 in the Santaland Diaries, short little paragraph here. I am trying to look at the bright side. I arrived in New York 3 weeks ago with high hopes, hopes that have been challenged. In my imagination, I'd go straight from Penn Station to the offices of One Life to Live, where I would drop off my bags and spruce up before heading off for drinks with Cord Roberts and Victoria Buchanan, the show's greatest stars. We'd sit in a plush booth at a Tony cocktail lounge where my new celebrity friends would lift their frosty glasses in my direction and say, "A toast to David Sedaris, the best writer the show has ever had."
Right. So he had he had artistic dreams.
Yeah.
When I came to LA, I didn't have any artistic dream or creative dreams. So I think it's quite different. But yeah, and his obsession with One Life to Live, so funny.
So that's one of the things I think that Sedaris is really good at. One, that he even has this obsession, but it comes up a lot, him and soap operas.
Right, yeah. And the fact, maybe you
It,
don't think it's funny, but to me, the fact that it's One Life to Live seems a little funny. But
I don't know my soap operas.
I knew my soap operas in like middle school, high school, and I used to watch them. And I never watched One Life to Live, so I have nothing
So you didn't know those stars. Yeah. I think also, like I think students sometimes will say, they'll think they need to write generally to attract an audience, but actually writing very specifically about One Life to Live and naming stars, that's what like
Oh,
will
for sure. Yeah, be
grab a
more
certain
specific.
section
Yeah,
of readers. Yeah.
agreed.
So I think I was very excited to move to New York City. Um, I think the first problem was, could I even name the 5 boroughs? I'm not positive I could name the 5 boroughs
Oh, really?
before I
Okay.
moved to New York City. I certainly really didn't know anything about Queens. I couldn't conceive what Queens was. I think Megan probably thought we would, live in a smaller apartment in Manhattan. So there was definitely a shock. And then the whole thing of like just trying to find an apartment in New York City. You're paying 1 month's rent to a realtor for an apartment. Anything decent is gone within hours. So it's a really intense game. And we're there trying to find an apartment, staying in a hotel with a small child. So it was pretty intense and disappointing. So I think Megan, to oversimplify it, probably thought some form of friends. And then when we got there, like the financial reality of it was pretty grim.
Right. The financial reality, the city life, hard scrabble existence slammed her in the face. But you had a job when you went, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
That's why
long
you
way off from
came.
getting
Yeah.
paid. I was like 3 months away from my first paycheck. But so when you had been to LA when you moved there or no?
When I came to LA, I did not have a job, first of all.
Right.
Um, I had been to LA. Of course, as a small child with you, we came to LA, but I had been to an LA as an adult just once. And I came here kind of with the intention of scoping it out for sure. Um, and I liked what I saw, but I came here without a job. My intention was simply to escape where I currently lived.
And the attraction, I'm assuming, was almost solely warm weather?
I had two qualifications for where I want to move. One, it has to be big. It has to be a big city. Two, it has to be pretty warm.
Yeah.
That really narrows down the
Right.
things you can select and of course, in the United States of America. And Florida was out because I had a brief sojourn in Florida and I didn't care for it. Um, so really, it was LA to me. I mean, I guess I could have moved to like
San
San
Diego.
Diego or something, but San Diego to me wasn't quite big enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was LA. And I feel like deep when I was a little child, I would think about California. It's like, and mom and dad would be like, oh, we almost moved to California. And as a small child, I'd be like, damn it, I wish they moved to California. So it was always, I did have a little dreaminess about LA in my mind, but it wasn't because I'm going to go to LA and become an actor or become a superstar or something. You
Right.
know, that certainly was not in it. So my sole reason was get away from what I was doing and get into a big city with great warm weather. And I did find those things. So, I mean, it was rough at first. I didn't have a job for like a year. Uh, I lived off, our grandmother gave us a small amount of inheritance. It was like what, like 10 or 20 grand maybe.
Yeah,
And I lived off of that. And then I lived off my credit cards until I got a job.
it
And
worked out.
I paid off those credit cards pretty quickly. So it worked out. Yeah.
And I think, I think you can be disillusioned with what a place is going to be like before you move there. I think I probably felt that way a little bit about New York City. Mostly, I would say all the things that you think about New York, and it's the reasons that it's great to live there, you don't have enough money to do any of that.
Right. Yeah. Living, if you were
Restaurants,
rich, I'd be like,
plays,
oh,
concerts. Yeah,
move me to New York. I'll have a penthouse on the top building or the best building on the street, or I'll live in one of those cute little Bill Cosby townhouses,
yeah, right.
Cosby Show townhouses. And yeah, it sounds dreamlike. Here, I'll live in the hills, I'll live in Bel Air. These things aren't happening. But I was older when I did it, so I didn't have expectation. I knew what money did in life already, so I knew
Yeah.
what was up.
Did you want to point us to any part of the text? Did you pick anything out?
I only picked two small things out. One isn't, I didn't really laugh out loud. I only laughed out loud once, and I'll read that later. And it was just one sentence. Um, but there was more of a section of the text I thought, well, this is very true. Uh, and so I'll read that. He says, it is sad because you would like to believe that everyone is unique, and then they disappoint you every time by being exactly the same, asking for the same things, reciting the exact same lines as though they had been handed a script. All of the adults ask for a gold card or a BMW, and they rock with laughter, thinking they're the first person brazen enough to request such pleasures. Santa says, I'll see what I can do. Couples over the age of 50 say, I don't want to sit on your lap, Santa. I'm afraid I might break it. How do you break a lap? How did so many people get the idea to say the exact same thing? And so that's like a sad, maybe it's not sad, but that's a sad truth in life is you think you're unique or funny. I think a lot of times though in conversation, you just are at a point where you don't know what to say. And so you pull a cliche out of your head and you say that.
If you guys that aren't watching, Anne just pulled a cliche out of
I
her head.
pulled a
It
cliche
was
straight out of my
amazing.
head, like Athena. Didn't Athena get pulled from Zeus's head or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Something got either Athena got pulled out of the head or Athena pulled something out
So
of the
when
head.
you're, first of all, I don't imagine you when you're at the fast food restaurant, when you're buying something in a department store, um, getting your pretzel at Auntie whatever Ann's, you're not.
Auntie, whatever. Of course it's
Where do you get your
Anne's.
pretzels at the mall?
I rarely buy pretzels, but if I were, I would get it at Auntie Anne's. Yeah.
Okay, so
There are two options, so I could
you're not
go.
really looking to entertain whoever's at the register, and you're not looking to chit chat. So that makes you pretty different already.
Right, but those are short interactions. Plus, at a fast food restaurant now, you can order in the app, and all you have to do is listen for your number, and they hand it to you, and that's your interaction. So I
Right.
love that.
So my question maybe doesn't apply to you. Do you try to say something that not everyone says in these situations? And for example, let's say that David Sedaris is pointing you in the direction of the Santa that you will visit, and people are making small talk, and so they're all saying, "I can't sit on your lap, I'll break it." They're all saying the same things. He gives an example of this place that sells little glass eyeballs, and everyone picks up the eyeballs and puts them up to their eyes and says some stupid thing. Do you sense that and do you try to say something different, or that actually doesn't apply to you because you never make conversation?
I would say never is a big word. I do make
Anne will not let
conversations
me say never on this podcast after she.
sometimes. Certainly, if they start the small talk, I will small talk with you back.
Yeah.
I'm not, I try not to be outright rude. And sometimes I will crack some stupid joke that I think is dumb and I know is dumb, but I say it just to ease the tension. I do think sometimes standing there in silence is pretty weird. And I don't really enjoy that either, especially something like visiting Santa, where you might be standing with this elf for a good bit of time. But at the same time, you also consider it like, does this elf really want to talk? He hates his job. He just wants to get through it. So,
I feel like
um,
I have a decent sense of it, and I do try to say, here's something I never do, for example, which is obvious. I don't go up to a tall person and talk about how tall they are.
right. And I don't say, how's the weather up there?
So
Or
I
yeah,
at least avoid asking someone if they played basketball or saying anything about them being tall if they're tall. I do not say, like, mom has a physical therapist, a woman who's probably 6'3" or 6'4". We don't, and I was like, mom's gonna drill her with how tall she is. But mom didn't say anything. I was really proud of her.
Oh, good. Good job, Mom.
So I do, and then I kind of wonder why I think about it so much. I did work at the register at Russell's Old Trading Post, which was our family grocery store, not, our not immediate family grocery store. So I did listen. I was around the cash register where our Aunt Bess would have 30 conversations a day that were exactly the same, and she didn't even seem to care. Maybe she just had learned to deal with it. So I do try to think about that and say something different. And what Sedaris is saying, to come back to what you pointed out, he's just saying we all think we're unique, but we think of the same dumb crap to say to each other.
Right. We're all human beings and our minds work in similar ways. And so we'll say the same, of course, the most obvious jokes appear to us in our head and we'll say it. And in fact, if you say something different, you might be like, oh, what a weirdo, what a weird thing to say. And
Yeah.
despite thinking I'm some kind of antisocial pariah, I have had two retail jobs in my life, if you count Indiana Beach as retail. And in a way it is. Customer service, I guess.
Yeah.
And I worked in the games, and I had to talk all the time in the game section. And I work at the Virgin Megastore in the books section, and so discuss books with people that I had no idea what I was saying. So and people thought I did a good job in that job. I was good at that
I mean,
job.
you
So
already knew something about Athena in this podcast, so you probably
that's
did.
right. Yeah, I did graduate college and have a degree in liberal arts. So you would think I would know something, but kind of sad. I guess I can't. You don't even know probably who Athena is. That's pretty weak being a literature.
No, I know who Athena is, but I didn't know about the birth of Athena getting
Right.
pulled from a head. Right.
Okay.
All right. So just a couple sentences here. They got to pick their elf names. So this is Sedaris again. My elf name is Crumpet. We were allowed to choose our own names and given permission to change them according to our outlook on the snowy world. Pretty funny detail. So Anne, I chose myself an elf name. I chose one for you. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Why don't you tell me what you think my name should be, and then I'll tell you what my name is.
Okay. Oh, and she's gonna go by that.
Yeah.
I went with Sour Patch.
For my name,
Sour Patch.
Sour Patch. Well, Sour Patch isn't very Christmassy.
Well,
Uh,
okay. Let me defend it some. Maybe let me
yeah, please
tell
do
you.
because I'm not
I don't
seeing
know.
it.
Yeah,
I
is
do
it more
like Sour Patch.
is it oh nice. Is it more interesting like to hear why you think what doesn't matter the order. So I Sour Patch is a candy, so I feel good about that.
Which I like. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it turns out that you like Sour Patch. That's even better. And then really your text message to be about the Colts is illustration number one. I'm sure I could think of 10 more about, a little sour. I don't expect the Colts to win. I
A little
probably won't watch it.
negativity.
Yeah. So just yeah, not even it's not even in but it's still Sour Patch is kind of pleasant in a way, right?
Sure. I think Sour Patch though is too harsh on me. I'm
Like
not
negative,
actually that much of
like
a Sour Patch.
eating a turd is bad, is just disgusting in every way. Sour is like, ooh, but still pretty funny.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I mean, it's fine. I'm not offended by
You just
it.
have a cynicism about you that
I would never select it as
your
my
own
name,
name. Yeah.
as my own name. In fact,
Right.
my own name doesn't really reflect who I am, I don't think. I just like the name. But what's your name? Tell me that first.
Okay, so actually I sort of cheated. Um, Megan gave me my name, which I was a little offended by for the first 10 seconds, and then she explained it, and I then felt it was a pretty good name.
Okay.
Dribbles.
Dribbles. Okay. Well, I mean, the basketball
Yeah,
reference, but it
right.
makes me think of dribbling
I know. I thought
yeah,
of just like dribbling on
your
myself.
drool. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because you're
she,
dumb or
but
something.
but that does kind of make it a good name. The fact that it has double meaning and do I, who is the most likely Torgerson to dribble something on his shirt? Probably me.
Right. And you can also think, oh, he's dribbling sugar on sugar cookies or something. I don't know.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dribbles.
okay, so dribbles
It
and
makes me think you're dumb, but okay. Here's the
it's
dumb
almost
elf,
I was
dribbles.
struck by how much this is like a Seven Dwarfs kind of exercise as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
Okay, I came up with three, but the first two I thought stripper names. Because the
Okay.
first name I thought of was something with a cookie, cookie, sugar cookie,
Yeah.
sugar cookie. No, that's for a pretty stripper, right? And then the
So
next one was
wait, so this is for you, sugar cookie?
yeah, sugar or cookie
Sugar,
or
not
sugar
both.
cookie. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I got you. I like those a lot. And you're good at
Sugar, I mean, hey, sugar, it's something from the olden years that old men would call people.
yeah.
And I wouldn't be offended if some old guy was like, hey, sugar, whatever. And then cinnamon, because I really am a cinnamon person. I like cinnamon buns. I like anything cinnamon, ginger snap cinnamon guys. What are those called? Gingerbread cookies?
Yeah.
Anything with that, I love a cinnamon. Cinnamon coffee cake, love it. But
And
again, a little stripperish, don't you think?
sure, but maybe you're onto something.
Okay, and then the one I picked, and it almost came into my head first, and it actually doesn't reflect me at all because you'll see why. Tinsel.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Tinsel.
like
Why
tinsel
does
on a
that not
tree.
reflect you?
Well, shiny, happy tinsel,
Yeah.
showy tinsel. It's not really
I
me.
think I mean, you've got a place in the writer's room. I'm not quite sure what your job is, but I think those are great. I really like them.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Put some
And do you
thought
spell
into them.
tinsel? Tinsel, is that correct?
I think so. That's how I
Yeah,
just
that's how I
spell
spelled it, and I thought, boy, it looks weired, but maybe I
it.
just don't see
I
it
was just sitting here taking
written.
notes. Now I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear mine.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't make come. You didn't tell me to come up with
Oh
names
yeah,
for
I
you.
did. I did. I know
Oh, well, I
what.
didn't.
Uh,
Just looking at you, yeah, Scrappy, something like that, maybe. I don't know if I'm thinking of Scooby Doo, Scrappy, but
yeah,
you're kind of a scrappy guy, like you're a hard worker.
yeah.
Uh, if you were an elf, you'd be in there like sweeping the floors, doing the hard work because you wouldn't be able to really do woodcraft on the toys. I wouldn't either.
I would struggle with some. I would be buddyish.
Yeah, we wouldn't be carving toys. We wouldn't be painting. It's funny when you think of elves, you always think of them as woodworking, which is stupid. How many people get woodworking gifts? Nobody.
Yeah, now they're. I don't know. They're
They
making.
should be in there with motherboards and computer programming and
So
things
I
like
tried to
that.
look up some. The only real elf name that was kind of interesting as I tried to hammer down and find elves names. So I think we both like the Alec Baldwin SNL skit "Always Be Cobbling."
Yes, that's a great skit. Makes me laugh every time.
His name was Winter's Breath.
That's pretty funny.
That's a
That's a
pretty
good
good
name.
one.
How about Boogie for you? I like that. Boogie.
Boogie. I like.
Boogie Bill. It starts with your name.
Mhm.
It kind of makes me think of basketball a little bit. Boogie, he's laid back. Boogie.
All right. Did you want to point us to another part of the text?
Okay, the only other part I really thought made me laugh was this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read the punchline. Well, I'll read the paragraph before that. A woman is annoyed with him and she says, I'm going to have you fired. He says, I had two people say that to me today. I'm going to have you fired. Go ahead, be my guest. I'm wearing a green velvet costume. It doesn't get any worse than this. Who do these people think they are? I'm going to have you fired. And I wanted to lean over and say, I'm going to have you killed. Which
Yeah.
the I'm going to have you killed really made me laugh. I thought that's pretty good.
Yeah. He's good at that. He's funny. One of my questions later was, is David Sedaris saying anything about people? He's certainly showing us the dark side.
Right, he's showing the dark side. I was a little bit put off, I guess, by the whole mentally challenged people coming. He wrote that a little harshly, I thought.
He was out of his time on that. I mean, that was,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he would write. I mean, he still does come close to crossing the line quite a bit now in things that he writes, but right,
It was a bit jarring, I
he
thought.
uses the R word. Uh,
Right,
he sort of, there's some descriptions in here about some handicapped people that is done for humor,
right, yeah.
which
And
you wouldn't
you
do.
feel like you wouldn't do that for humor anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we probably don't have to hash out whether we give him a pass for that or not.
No, I don't think we did. I just think I wanted to note that it was a little bit weird. But yeah, he has some good punchlines. But yeah,
Here's
he's unearthing the dark side of Macy's very little positive in the story.
right. I do have listed the one positive part,
Oh, okay, good.
one heartwarming moment. I do think Jerry Seinfeld heard criticism about this writing Seinfeld, just that there was so much cynicism and darkness in the humor. And then I think as kind of and of course it was probably Larry David as much as it was Jerry. There was a couple, maybe there was only one. There's at least one episode called Bizarro Jerry. And so everyone's personality was just reversed. They were, George was kind, Jerry was kind, and it's like, oh, well, this isn't funny at all.
Right, yeah. I don't think I'd harsh on that. Sometimes on Larry David's Curb Your Enthusiasm, it was like, this is a little too much. Like,
Yeah,
let's have a little bit of happiness here. And Bizarro Jerry, doesn't that come from Bizarro Superman? Because
probably.
Bizarro Superman, even though I don't know the lore of it at all, but it always has stuck in my head since I was a little kid. I remember reading about Bizarro Superman. You had a record. Uh,
That's right.
when we were young, you would have books on records, guys. You wouldn't have books on tapes. You put a record on, and then you look at a picture book. And you had a record where someone talked backwards.
Yeah.
The villain talked backwards, and he would talk backwards on that record. And it's always stuck with me. It was a
It made
Superman record.
it feel Satan-esque.
Yeah, it was like,
Like
oh,
you're,
this, and he
yeah.
was like an old, craggly man with craggly hair. I remember he had weird hair in the book, and so Bizarro Superman always. I think that has some kind of connection with Bizarro Superman. Anyway, off
So
topic.
this is a laugh out loud moment for me. It's also another Sedaris interaction with customers. And really the whole thing is a lot of it is interaction with customers. I was at the magic window for 15 minutes before a man approached me and said, "You look so effing stupid." I have to admit that he had a point, but still I wanted to say that at least I got paid to look stupid and he gives it away for free. But I can't say things like that because I'm supposed to be merry. So instead I said, thank you, as if I had misunderstood and thought he had said, "You look terrific."
Right. Yeah, that is funny. It's a good reaction though, I think. Thank you. Like, I don't care what you say to me. Move along, idiot. I mean, what kind of person does make a point of saying that? We all could say it in your head, but why would you say it out loud?
I mean, can we
Pretty
even
wild.
begin to evaluate the person who's, getting an ice cream cone somewhere and unhappy with the level of service in the ice cream line and says, "I will have you fired."
Right. Yeah. Have you ever uttered the words, "I will have you fired"?
I can't
Absolutely
even think
not.
about like who is this person? This person has no authority over anyone, or they're just they think so much of themselves that they're entitled, Ritz level service everywhere they go.
Yeah, and sometimes though they do get them fired. So I guess it depends on what they do. But yeah, the one that's out of pocket when it's just like, hey, the line's long, I'll have you fired is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Um, where am I at here? Do I
I
have I
had
think
a, I had a question
yeah.
though. In the beginning, he's talking about whether or not he accepts leaflets on the
Yeah,
street. He's on
yeah,
the street, people are handing out leaflets.
it's good.
I see there's a coffee shop nearby me. There's always like some kind of liberal like rights, some kind of people working for the
Hmm.
rights of the world. Something I agree with, but it's like I don't want to talk to you about it. You're here every day. I'm
Yeah,
not talking to you about it. And then yesterday, as I was coming off of hiking Runyon, somebody was inside the gate of Runyon with a clipboard and was trying to make eye contact with me, and I didn't even make eye contact. I'm like, get away from me. I don't want to talk about what petition you want me to sign.
yeah,
Uh, and then he says he'll accept it if somebody's in a dumb costume. If somebody's in a chicken costume
yeah,
and they're handing out leaflets, he'll accept it and even thank them for giving it to
right.
them. So what's your policy on accepting leaflets or engaging in people?
First of all, I think that's a good rule. Um,
Accept them if they're in an outfit. Yeah.
Yep. I will usually accept the leaflet. And of course, I had a lot of opportunities to do that living in New York City. So whatever you're trying to hand me, I'll take it and I'll throw it away in the next trash can that I see. No problem. Um, not true in Vegas of like
Of
prostitutes
those, yeah,
like that.
stripper or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pass on those. Now I have before answered the questions on the clipboard, but I prefer not to. Usually I'm a no thank you. You approach me with a
I've
clipboard,
done it like
I'm a
once.
no
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
It's the same when people are knocking on my door. I think, do I answer it or not? The last time I answered it,
Mm,
it was a woman and her daughter, and they wanted to talk to me about accepting Jesus or something like that. And I
yeah.
was like, not interested right now.
Yeah.
You feel dumb for saying that, but also it's like, I'm not inviting you, and you brought your daughter along, a
And
little
they've
kid,
usually mastered the question. so that you sound like an idiot.
For saying
You
no.
know, do you
Do
care
you
about the plight
want
of so and so?
kids in Sudan to starve?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course I don't. But I also, do I want to take 5 minutes with you?
So
And
if I
now that I say it out
cannot,
loud, it sounds pretty bad. Yeah.
if I could not answer the door, I don't.
Right. I
And believe it
normally
or
don't,
not,
but sometimes I
believe it or
think it's
not,
an,
people,
yeah.
I live down a somewhat scary lane, loaded with potholes. If you've got a regular car, you're not sure it should be on our driveway because it's so bouncy. People still come and knock on our door. Indy, of course, greets them like a savage beast, and I kind of hang back and see if they go away in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, people actually don't knock on my door too much for living in the city. And it's because I think I'm set back from the street. But I do get occasional knocks. But sometimes it's like it could be my neighbor. It could be somebody I really do need to talk to.
Where
So.
you live and park, there's no way anybody could know if someone was home.
Well, I would say I have my radio or television on.
Yeah.
My door has huge gaps in it. You would know I was home, I think.
Okay.
That's what, part of it too. And it's like, well, I'll just let it keep blaring and act like I don't hear, I guess.
All right, here's another section I like this. I don't think it needs set up. I spent a few hours in the maze with Puff, a young elf from Brooklyn. We were
Good name, Puff.
Puff, I know, just like,
Except for Puff Daddy, I guess. Yeah.
and he uses names throughout. Crumpet, by the way, was put into the movie Elf as an homage to this story.
Oh, wow. Full of
Somebody's Crumpet.
facts.
And
Is
then,
crumpet
of
very
course,
Christmassy to you?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just like a biscuit, isn't it? Yeah.
I actually, that's kind of what I uncovered as I researched elf names. A lot of them weren't very elfy.
Doesn't have to
Winter's
be
Breath is
Christmassy.
why it got a mention. It was one of the better
Yeah.
ones. Okay, so he's with Puff. We were standing near the lollipop forest when we realized that Santa is an anagram of Satan. Father, Christmas, or the devil, so close but yet so far. We imagine a Santaland where visitors would wade through steaming pools of human blood and feces before arriving at the gates of hell, where a hideous imp, singed velvet costume, would take them by the hand and lead them towards Satan. Once we thought of it, we couldn't get it out of our minds. Overhearing the customers, we would substitute the word Satan for Santa. What do you think, Michael? Do you think Macy's has the real Satan?
Right. I think this goes under the lines of not original thought, though. Surely everybody's thought about Santa and Satan and how close they've been, although he expands on it in a funny, humorous way. But it is kind of weird that Santa and Satan is so close.
I think what I really enjoy out of the bat, as I try to also navigate to page 30, um, this really captures like what you do to get through this crappy job you have.
Right. I mean, if it wasn't for daydreaming or just your mind, how would you get through anything, I guess? And have you heard of those people that can't picture things in their mind? It's hard to believe, don't you think? Have I
Can't
talked to
what
you
now?
about this?
They can't what?
They can't have, if you think of an apple right now, you can picture an apple in
Sure.
your head, can't you? And some people can only picture a pretty ordinary looking apple. Some people, which I think to me it has to be most people, can do whatever they want with this apple, right? You can change the apple's colors, you can make
Yeah.
it 3D, you can spit it in your head. There's some people who say they can't, it's hard to believe for me to believe, but apparently it's true, that can't picture things in their mind. And it's like, well, how do you think? How do you think if you can't picture something in your mind?
This takes me back to TIS, which, oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say about TIS that I forgot. So this goes back to Sedaris saying he wanted to work at UPS for the brown uniform. I took my TIS, so the job at TIS was, and I doubt if you've been in the warehouse. I was at the
No, of
warehouse.
course not.
Yeah, so this is just outside of Bloomington, a couple miles. And the job was you unload huge boxes of textbooks off of semi-trailers, and then you unpack the boxes, and then you go up and down the aisles of an enormous warehouse where you sometimes have to climb a ladder, and you put these books often in alphabetical order. That was the job. Um,
Right. And they didn't let you listen to anything or
so the first part of that was I got interviewed and I took it very seriously and, answered all the questions earnestly, trying to get the job. And then my friend Kevin Tankersley, who, by the way, quit this job at lunchtime. The first day of the job, it was lunch. We went home for lunch, and Tank said, I'm not going back.
right. Which I've met people like that. Yeah.
Tank had a very short interview, and they asked him why he wanted to work at TIS, or they asked him what qualified him to work at TIS. Tank's answer was, I know my ABCs.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he didn't take
that's
it
it.
so seriously,
Didn't
but he still
elaborate.
got the job.
He
Yeah.
still got the job.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Well, you
And
have to
then
know what you're interviewing
so
for.
the
Yeah.
horrible part was you mentioned they wouldn't let us listen to any music.
That
I
is pretty
also
lame.
really couldn't daydream because I was always thinking in numbers or the alphabet. Like I couldn't just sort of wander through and do my job. I had to think, this is 318.725. Where does it go on the shelf? This starts with B. So it was just a really bad job.
Right. I've had some pretty bad monotonous jobs, and they've always been temp, and they've always been factory type work. Um, and I could daydream a little bit, I think, in those. So it wasn't horrible, but it's certainly monotonous and hard to get through the day.
All right, I had an idea for a podcast episode that you're not going to like.
Oh, I hate it already.
Yep. I'm going to wait a second until I bust it on you, but just to sort of.
Okay, great.
Okay. So, I sort of forgot, and then it struck me as I read this, boy, this really is a diary.
Right, yeah, it's a
This
diary.
is a
I
diary.
actually I didn't realize he did this multiple years. It's presented as one
Yeah,
year.
it totally is.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of controversy around how much of this is true.
right. I think he probably isn't. It isn't all true for sure.
But like you and I think this was new to me 10 years ago, maybe when I got an MFA around 2000, I was like, oh, you can really exaggerate and lie in this genre.
Oh, of course, it's like comedy. It's like stand-up comedy. It's like that didn't really happen to you.
It
I
is.
don't
I think you're
believe
right.
that.
So, and when we read David Foster Wallace at the fair, we didn't really even stumble on that. I mean, there's no way some of those things happened. There
Right.
were
I think we
well,
briefly mentioned it, but
yeah, we
yeah.
just brought it up, but
Or something small happens and you go off from there. It's like a launching board into an
so
interesting story
I'm
that you
ready to
think of.
listen to people's arguments, but I don't mind some exaggeration to tell me a good story.
No, I don't care either. It's like if I'm going to a comedy show, make it all up. I don't care. It's
Whatever
funny.
Nate Bargatze says happened to him at Starbucks, invent that if
Right.
you want to.
Right. Yeah, it's fine. It's a story. I'm
Yeah.
being entertained.
And we're not talking about like a police report. We're not talking about a
Right.
history book. We're not even talking about like Hurricane Katrina. Now, I would like you to stick, if you're writing a memoir that takes place during Hurricane Katrina, interactions with the police, okay, I want that to be pretty accurate. I want that to be accurate.
Right. And I don't even think of this as a memoir. I think of it as comedy writing.
Yeah, good.
So it doesn't have to be true. A memoir, I would kind of like to be somewhat true, but everybody has their own slants. Yeah. Like a
Yeah,
biography, if you're writing an autobiography, I want it to be kind of true.
yeah. I think that
But of
most
course, it's always from your point of view
I
and
think
truth.
most memoirs would take the same creative liberties that David Foster Wallace and David Sedaris take here.
Yeah, okay. But
Okay, so
I do actually want it to be a little
do
more
have a
true
little bit of an issue. All right.
and
So
with a
this is
memoir.
pretty diary-like. I have another diary section, but I think it's pretty funny. So I think you'll be okay hearing it, everyone. I photo elfed all day for a variety of Santas, and it struck me that many parents don't allow their children to speak at all. A child sits upon Santa's lap, and the parents say, all right, now, Amber, tell Santa what you want. Tell him you want a baby alive and my pretty ballerina and that winter coat you saw in the catalog. The parents name the gifts they have already bought. They don't want to hear pony or television set, so they talk through the entire visit, placing words in the child's mouth. When the child hops off, the parents address their children each and every time. What do you say to Santa? And then the kid says, thank you.
Right. Well, they're managing expectations. They don't want the kid to really think they're going to get a pony. They want them to be more satisfied with the gifts they have. Plus, so many of this, especially when you're taking a baby to Santa, we all know you're doing that for you and maybe the future kid, I guess, but you're really doing that for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like throwing a first birthday party for a kid. This kid doesn't care about their first birthday party, right?
I know, I
Um,
don't know what to make of it. So I know that you went to Disney with us once, and my kids are really little, and they don't remember that, I don't think. And I thought it was kind of a waste of money. And like, why are we taking this big trip when they're so young now? But I do, on the other hand, the kids are in line at Macy's and they behold the Christmas tree and they smile and laugh and the train, there's something that brings them
right. Well,
closer.
when they were at Disney World, they were old enough to enjoy
They were
themselves.
laughing and
They
smiling.
were enjoying themselves. I'm talking about a baby. You take a baby to Disney World, the baby doesn't care about Disney
Right. Baby
World.
can't walk, baby can't talk.
Yeah, baby's not even laughing. That's different.
Especially if they don't have older siblings. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. It's okay that they don't remember it, but they were having, your kids were having fun while they were there. And a 5-year-old will probably enjoy the experience of waiting in line and looking at all this stuff. In fact, I just saw a video of somebody saying, "Oh, my daughter," it's kind of off topic, but my daughter wanted to be in or I put my daughter in ballerina, some dance class or whatever. And she's up on stage, and the video was funny because they zoomed in on her face and she looked like a miserable time. She was standing there, she wasn't doing anything. She had resting bitch face. And she was just standing there, wasn't dancing or anything. And afterwards they said, "Well, what was like?" "Oh, I loved it. I want to do it again." So, you can't always tell when a little kid is enjoying themselves. I think the experiences, even though they're not going to remember it, they're kind of enjoying them. They're getting something out of it. Whereas a 1-year-old at a birthday party smashing their hands in the cake, I guess, but I don't know.
I do think that I was a little bit wrong. And, the moments of happiness because you're in this place and whatever, some character at an amusement park makes the kid smile. Okay, that is something.
Yeah, it is something. Yeah.
It's almost like, oof, I'm really stretching here. Um, it's still important to make our mom laugh and have a moment, even though 15 minutes later she doesn't
She's
remember.
not going to remember it. Yeah. Or even
That's
knows
a
really
little
what's going
weird.
on.
That's a
Yeah.
little, it's interesting phenomena, which is
Yeah.
how it is. Like, because like we have funny little moment. I used to think it didn't matter as much, but now I try to have funny little moments, and she has funny little moments with like there's a woman who comes and works. It's more of like little mental games, and the physical therapist will get her up, and it's almost like they dance for a minute, holding her hands and move, and she just giggles away, which of course is mom. She does that anyway. Uh, but anyway, yeah, those moments matter even if you don't remember them.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
All right.
It's better than having a moment of stress or silence. It's
Okay, I
even
have
like
the
when you're a kid and you get dragged to things, even if you kind of dislike it, it's kind of fun to look back on it and think about it and as an experience you had. Like when dad dragged me and mom to see uh I forget his first name, but that kook that he followed, the Armstrong
yeah.
religious guy. What's his first name? Herbert? Herbert
Herbert
W.
Armstrong,
Armstrong.
yeah.
Well, he dragged me and mom to Indy, and we had to sit there and listen to him because he said we could go shopping afterwards. And so even though I hated the experience, it's something I look back on and kind of laugh about and think
Yeah.
about.
I mean, one of my best memories of dad, it's Christmas related, and he would do this every so many years. I mean, he was mostly down on Christmas and told us about, he kind of cut himself off from giving the full version of the pagan background of all of it, just that it's all taken from things way before Jesus, blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with Jesus. This is what we really should do at Christmas. And he sort of would lay that on us a little bit. But then he also wanted us to enjoy our lives, so he would cut himself off. But every once in a while, he would like go to Walmart, not the best place in the world. He would go to Walmart and just buy everyone a couple things. Like
Right, he did that once. You're
mom
acting
would
like
get
he
a
did it all the time.
painting and a
He did it once.
blouse.
He got mom a bad sweater, I think. I think he got me the painting. I think he got mom an ugly shirt. Because I remember mom wearing the shirt shortly after, and I was looking at her, and she's like, "I'm just wearing it once for the day so he knows it." I was like, "Yeah, okay, I get it." Yeah,
So
I got the painting, Bill.
okay, it was like a
It was a horrendous painting. I never
you're
hung it
gonna
up.
hang that snowy Midwestern scene in
Yeah,
your
it's like a
living
painting you would get at the gas station or something.
as a 15-year-old,
Yeah, as a
12-year-old.
teenager, 16-year-old.
I probably got a basketball or a goal or
Yeah,
something.
probably something decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet mine was decent. Okay,
I
the
think the
one
only present he ever bought us, probably, personally.
the to me the only heartwarming moment, and I think one of the big payoffs for the pieces is it's funny, right? It's funny.
Right, of course. Yeah.
And it has mixed in some observations about people. There was one nice Santa, and it's almost like the prerequisite hint at this might be the real Santa.
Oh, Santa Santa?
Santa. Right, that's what he was called, right?
Right. Well,
That's
that's
what
what he called him. Yeah.
he called him Santa. Um,
Santa Santa did have a little bit of bossiness to him that he could do away with.
I mean, one bit that we aren't discussing much is that all the Santas bossed him around in various ways, including one who made him sing carols and stuff.
Yeah, but wasn't that Santa Santa who made him sing the carols? Yeah.
Santa did have him, but Santa wasn't the one who he lied to about not knowing the words to the song, I don't think.
I thought he was, but that's all right. Maybe I don't remember it.
I mean,
Anyway, Santa Santa performed his magic at all times. Yeah.
and he wouldn't, right, he
In
wouldn't,
character.
he said his name was Santa, right. Um, I mean, so one of the visits ends, Santa ends the visit saying, remember that the most important thing is to try and love other people as much as they love you. I realize I didn't read the whole section, but that's a really like standalone, solid piece of Christmas advice that we've heard a million times. But there was a genuineness, not a dark side, not a under your breath nasty cracks about all the visitors. This Santa had none of that. And to me, this was like the one little spot where my heart might have like shifted a
Grown
little
two
with
sizes
positive
like Grinch
emotion.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um, even David Sedaris performing his elf duties usually tried to be good about it. I mean, sure, he would break sometimes, but I don't see him being outright mean to kids unless they throw nickels at him. So I think a lot of them probably did try to do their best, and I think that's what I would be. But I would never, I would drop the character when they're not around.
Did you try to, so you and I both worked at Indiana Beach. Did any part of you think with almost everyone you interacted with, they're on vacation?
No, I don't remember thinking about that too much. Sometimes we would start talking to them and be like, because you'd find out they came from Chicago, which how
Right.
far is that, Bill?
2 or 3 hours at least, I would say.
Yeah, so like 2.5 hours to Monticello is where Indiana Beach is. And we'd be like, Great America's in Chicago. Why would you come down here? And they would always answer, it's cheaper. It only costs $1 to get in, and then you have to, if you're going to ride rides, so the mom who didn't ride rides
I
wouldn't have to pay the
love that
money.
about it, Indiana Beach, that you could go there and spend no money or just pay to park.
Right, your grandmother could come with you, enjoy the day, but she didn't have to pay an exorbitant amount because she wasn't riding the rides, so she didn't buy a ride pass.
So
So yeah,
Ann,
that was the good thing.
you've been by Tweetsy, right?
Yes.
So Tweetsy has all these decorations. They have a real train that you ride for like 20 minutes.
What else is in there?
I think there's some little kiddie rides. I don't know how much of that is open in the winter. I actually, for me to put the picture at the Torg.com, we pulled in there and I walked up a sidewalk and like filmed the train go by and posted that on my TikTok at Bill Torg.
They have like a little ropes course or something,
Well,
right?
yeah, it's a huge ropes course. Not,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's in conjunction with Tweetsy at all. I think it's a separate network.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
positive. I could be wrong. How much do you think it costs? Like, what would be fair to go in there and there's two little kiddie rides and you ride a train for 20 minutes and you can buy some hot chocolate and a cookie. What do you
So
think?
there's like a cover charge to get
There
into
is a cut. So I
Tweetsy.
think it would work great as a like go up there and spend money place, but it's not. There's a cover charge. What do you think the cover is?
I mean, I think I'm going to guess low, but even the low guess to me is too much, like $20, but it's not.
65.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going to say like 49.99 or something. $65 is crazy to me. Yeah.
I
So you get
was
to
like,
do everything though once you're in there.
you
You
have
have
to
to pay
what?
more.
No, then you can ride everything's included. I think you can
Yeah.
ride the
Yeah.
stuff and you can ride the train once you paid your $65.
Yeah, but so a whole family wants to take the grandparents with them. They got to pay $65 a piece. That's
Because I
crazy. In
thought,
Indiana Beach, back in 1991 or yeah, 1990,
yeah,
you had to pay $1, right?
oh,
Three
that's right.
dollars.
It was a
It was like
dollar.
$1, $2, $3 to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I thought I would have never thought this until I went up there last night. It's really decorated awesomely. I thought, oh, well, maybe me and Anne and the girls and Megan will come over here and we'll look kind of funny, but we'll get on the train and we'll ride it 20 minutes. And, for that, I thought $30 would be a little bit of a stretch.
Right. And you saw
Still,
65
we
and you
would have
said
like a
no for
Christmas
60.
experience.
Yeah.
Whatever's on the train, Santa would be there. We probably wouldn't be the only adults. Maybe we would. But 65, no. Like we're not gonna.
No, 65, no. Yeah.
Okay. So here's play along like you're willing to do this podcast, even though you
Okay.
um 7 days, keep a diary. Um and we're going for this. I'll read you a couple little tiny diary entries from David Sedaris. Lately, I am feeling trollish and have changed my elf name from Crumpet to Blisters. Blisters, I think, is cute. One more, maybe
Okay.
two. Today, a child told Santa Ken that he wanted his dead father back and a complete set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everyone wants those turtles.
Funny. Yeah.
Okay, so what would be the minimum word count that you would be willing to do for 7 days if you just slogged through a bad diary entry for 7 days in a row?
It would have to be really tiny, have a tiny, tiny word count. It
Yep.
wouldn't be interesting to me. My days are actually not interesting.
One thing I think would happen, um, I think your mind, I don't know if it could happen in 7 days. I think your mind would start to shift into looking for funny little blurby moments like that.
Yeah, I guess it would be a strain,
So give me the word count.
like two sentences. I don't
Give
know
me
how
a
many.
word count.
Well, how many words is in two sentences? Like 20.
20. Okay, I was hoping for more like 50. Um, but let's here I came up with one tiny one today
Okay.
in my diary. Mom lost her hearing aid today and
Oh, great.
lost the hearing aid. Wanted me to look under her chair. So in one of mom's cup holders, it's probably 20 tissues. On top of the tissues is a stack of cup holders, or no, of coasters. So
Okay.
maybe four coasters. The coasters, is their purpose to hold in the tissues?
Right. Yeah. My
So there's
four.
a
Yeah.
remote on the arm of the chair. There's her phone, and then in the other cup holder is a big cup, and then she's got a couple combs stacked on that. And then there's always just a few random things that you don't know why it's there.
Right. So that
So
would be
we
your
so,
diary.
so we get all that stuff off, onto other places so that when I put the chair over, I don't tip all that stuff on the floor. We get mom out of her chair, we get her into her other chair. I pick up the chair, try to hold the heavy chair that's electric that you can bring up and down with one hand. No hearing
Hearing aid.
aids. Yeah, hearing aids, what, 3 grand?
You can't find it for real?
Nope, couldn't find it. And then I had one last idea. It checked mom's ears for the hearing aids.
Right.
Had them both in.
Okay. It was dead or
No, nothing wrong with it.
nothing wrong? She's
Maybe
having
it wasn't stuck in there. I don't notice a big difference between hearing aids in, hearing aids not in.
of how much she can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's my diary entry. See?
Yeah. Right. Well,
Yeah,
that
I
would never
just
happen to me.
no, but something else. I think there would be something at work. All right. Now, last year we did Christmas movies.
I think so, or the year before.
Um,
Probably last year.
and then have we ever done Christmas music? Should we
I
do
think
10?
so,
You think we
but
have?
I think we have.
But we can't do your 10 favorite Christmas songs next week.
I mean, I could for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if we did it before. So that's a little in the cards. So maybe it will be a diary, a 20-word diary.
A 20-word diary. Yeah. Um, yeah, 10 is actually a lot for me to come up with.
10
10
words?
songs.
Oh, 10
No,
songs.
10 songs
10 Christmas
about
songs.
Christmas.
Well, we'll see if we did that
Um,
last year.
yeah, there's only like three that I would actually want to listen to. And then the other ones are like, this is tolerable.
Okay. All right. Our summer music talk, even though we've done that before, one of the most popular episodes we did.
Oh, really? It's because my selections were so awesome
Right.
and interesting and unique.
Okay. I'm probably gonna have to speed through here a little more because we're over an hour now. Um,
Yeah, we can't go into Colts game time.
oh, that's right. I got 21 minutes till kickoff. So, and everything David Sedaris says everything about the cash register intimidates me.
Right. And this is in the year of what, right? That's important. How
Meaning
long
what?
ago it was.
Meaning
Meaning the type of cash register. I don't think cash registers today would be very intimidating.
hmm.
Cash registers back then, guys, very intimidating.
So
Pretty hard.
2005, I was working before I started working at St. John's at a Queens golf course. It was a constant disaster.
Constant disaster. He's correct. David Sedaris is correct about voiding things, how hard that was.
So for
Uh,
me, a void was the manager. I really don't think he was working very much. I think the manager drove off in his golf cart and sat under a tree, and who knows what he was doing. But he was never in there. So I would have a void and I would have to get on the walkie-talkie and then he would come on the walkie-talkie and then he would drive in to do the void. So, and I never really got better at it.
Right. When I had to do a void or something like that, I would also have to be like, I need my floor supervisor to come over here. And I think, yes, we had walkie-talkies to do that. Plus, even back then, when someone, I want to say, when someone handed me a credit card, this would be in the 90s, probably like 98, I would have to slide it on a
Yeah.
thing. I mean, did I do that every time? It seems crazy, or maybe only certain times, but I would have to slide it and make a physical impression like the old days. Like when you went to a department store like Macy's in when I was in high school, they were sliding those things. They had a big old cash register the size of a large TV with no screen, no screen, making crazy noises, sliding things. It was insane. Somebody had to replace a tape register. Good God, no, right? No one wants that to happen. Now it seems to happen pretty seamlessly, even though I don't love it when they have to do it now either. But
Mainly what I would do is I would hit the register and it would say 59.95 and you would look at me and golf was $27. And then I would be like, sorry, and then I would hit the button a couple times and then it would say 129.99. The number would just keep going in. Okay, two.
sometimes people would come up to me and be like, there's no price on this book.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just make up a price.
Oh, nice.
Or they would be like, this sticker was on this book. And I can see, how prices are often printed on the book, 29.99, and they would have a sticker on it that said 10.99. I'd be like, doesn't seem like the sticker is from this book, but whatever. I'm putting 10.99.
Okay, a little bit of information about Macy's from David Sedaris in this piece. On a busy day, 22,000 people come to visit Santa.
That's crazy, right? Crazy talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Macy's has two jail cells on the balcony floor, and it apprehends 3,000 shoplifters a year.
Oh, a year. I thought you were going to say a day. I was like, that's crazy. But yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So I found,
A jail cell. Pretty,
if you want to link to it, there's a 2003 New York Times article about the jail.
do you think it's still there to this day?
I don't know, 2003 it was.
And does it look like a jail or is it just a room that has a
It's a
locked
chain
door?
link fence. It's
Oh,
links. So
okay.
yeah, it's a pretty good
Because I
description.
think now if you stole something at Target, they would just take you in a back room in the
I like it.
security room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't, no experience.
I've seen like videos. Yeah.
I think you said you wouldn't have any work stories to write. So the thing I would do with when I taught creative writing, and I would love to teach it again, as I tried to help you get ideas for stories, I would say work stories. Do you have any stories from work? And I would call this a work story.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure I have something, but
All right, I'm
is
gonna
this happen? One of the worst things happened to LA, and tell me if it happens in smaller cities, is locking up the merchandise now. Do they do that in your city?
um no, I mean at the golf course I worked at, I think one of the two reasons I was chosen. On some level, an intimidating looking guy, maybe who could be mistaken for a cop, not a little guy at least, not a woman. And also, I had a car. So it was dark in Queens. Things were getting a little rowdy out and about. And so I would lock everything up, which involved like pulling down, big metal barriers over all the windows, big chain, that kind of thing. You're just talking about like locking up
I'm
the
talking about I'm going to
boat.
Target 2 blocks
Oh,
from my house to get something simple that might be a slightly higher price tag,
I
like
see.
laundry detergent.
Like the razors.
Laundry detergent.
Yeah.
Laundry detergent is behind locks, and I gotta hit a button and have someone unlock it for me. And they just hand it to you. So it's like, I don't even know how this is. How is this deterring crime? If I was, I guess if you have a certain look, maybe they wouldn't hand it to you. I don't know. But
I
everything
certainly,
locked up and having to get it unlocked is a pain.
it's now been
It
years.
drives you to order things from Amazon and mail order,
Sure.
and that shouldn't be what I should be doing.
It's now been years since I came and to help take care of you when you broke your leg, but I was struck by how many things were
How many
locked up
things are locked up? And
at
I
the Target.
bet you more things are locked up now than it was then. Yeah.
So I once did write a Russell's Old Trading Post story, which part of the humor was that our uncle worked the meat counter with his new wife, and his ex-wife ran the cash register up front, and that created some pretty exciting work culture. So I did write a story in my collection, Horseshoe, about working at the grocery store.
I forgot about that. I don't remember any of their names. I remember his name, but I don't remember the girls' names.
Penny was the new wife,
Penny, I remember that now.
and
Yeah.
I apologize to. It's offensive that I don't remember the ex-wife, but I don't.
Right. Well, kudos to her for, she
Because I
needed a
think our
job.
extended family are some of our most devoted listeners, Anne.
Yeah, I hope probably. Who else is going to listen to this? Um, but yeah, I mean, hey, she needed the job. She had to stay the job. But yeah, it's like a little soap opera in there. Well,
And
that's
really, I think our Aunt Bess kind of sided with the ex-wife.
right. Yeah,
So
which
it
a
was
lot
sort
of
of
times
like,
happens.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like her and the ex-wife versus Uncle Johnny and
How many moms out there are disappointed in their sons and what their sons do to their wives? I think
yeah, that's
tons.
probably right. I also wrote a Queen's golf story. I actually can't remember if it got published. I kind of think it did. Isn't that weird that I've
I
forgotten?
feel like I read it. I have a slight
So there
memory
was
of
a
it. So,
lot of tension between, I'll say, the very wealthy Korean clientele and the sort of old Queens Irish Italian clientele. They were often in line together, back to back on holes on the golf course. And I mean, I think it was mostly one-sided. Sorry, Italian Catholics who didn't like the Koreans.
right. So the Italian Catholics were being racist. Yeah.
And then the police were just always pushing for free stuff and trying to intimidate me.
Ugh, hate that about the
And then
police.
I was also on camera, so I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, and I say that, don't bother me, police.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But when police go in and get free stuff, it's like a little irksome because they get so much money.
I've got three more potential work stories. They're pretty short.
Okay.
So I worked for the tree trimmer in Bloomington for 6 days before I quit. Um, Kind of funny, almost like a television show. Pretty heavy wife, rail thin dude. I would show up for work at 6 in the morning some days, and they would say, "Hey, he was out late last night. We're not going to work today." And then I would have to go back home after I was out late too, but got up. They once invited me to this great big meal that mostly featured various kinds of deer meat, including a soup, which I toughed out and ate with them.
Oh,
And then the probably pinnacle of the story, he was up in the tree and set his chest hair and t-shirt on fire and couldn't immediately try to get the fire out because he was holding a chainsaw in one hand and hanging onto the tree with the other.
oh, yeah. So some
Lance.
crazy. You could make a little sitcom about a tree
I
trimmer. Yeah.
got that job going through the yellow pages. I just went
I got a
alphabet.
lot of jobs, Yellow Pages. I had a job, I forgot. I worked for a person hired me to work at their firecracker store. Or fireworks store, not
Yeah,
fireworks. And it was a temporary place, for
yeah.
fireworks only. And I think I showed up for 2 days and they like didn't even open. And so finally I was like, you guys aren't even gonna pay me. And I just walked out. It was like,
So they
this is
never paid you.
ridiculous. Well, they never even opened. Yeah, and I was there for hours, like waiting, and it was insane. Yeah.
I think Indiana Beach certainly could be work stories.
Yeah, I could think of some. It is sad how you forget about life in the old days.
That's why you should keep a diary.
I guess
Um,
so.
so the water skiers, they all kind of had their own groupies, right?
I think the water skiers they thought of themselves as a little on a higher
Don't you
level.
think they were the elite workers they were the talent at Indiana Beach?
Oh, for sure. I don't remember I never interacted with like the bands and stuff. I suppose that's the talent too.
Hmm.
But yeah, the water skiers. And I did have a friend who hooked up with a water skier and told me all about it. And it was pretty interesting. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Hey,
hearing, I enjoyed hearing the
so there's
stories.
a movie. Have you ever seen Adventureland?
Yes, we've talked about this on the
Yeah,
pod,
so
but
that's
yes,
set
I
there.
think I have
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of potential with the water skiers. I mean, it almost feels like I'm finishing up the Cameron Crowe memoir and just him writing about uh, when he was in the Ridgemont High book and movie. I think the water skiers would be kind of like that. I think Indiana Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, the higher echelon. I
And
remember my big thing from Indiana Beach was one time I worked the sky ride, which are chairs, like a chairlift.
yeah.
And one time my coworker did hang from the chairlift trying to help somebody. And
Ooh.
so it was a big to do. She was hanging there for a little bit. They got her down and they paid her like an extra $100 or something for trying to save the person. I was like, damn, I should have I should have grabbed onto
Wow.
that.
That's cool.
Hanging up in the air. Yeah.
They rewarded the behavior of hanging from the chair.
Right. Well, she was trying to save somebody.
Yeah.
And she didn't do a good job of it. But she was trying to save somebody, and then she ended up
What
hanging from
happened
the
to the
chair.
person?
They were fine. The people on the chair, and then she hung from the back of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, the Winnemac Town Pool, also pretty rich with stories.
Right. I never worked there. You did. I spent a lot of time there.
Lots of romantic relationships.
That's where I got my nickname Annie Pop at the Winnemac pool.
That's
So
that could be an elf name, Annie Pop.
Annie Pop, yeah.
Although that
From
has
the
too much of it.
pink Annie
Oh, and
Pop
that's your Twitter handle.
popsicles. That's right. Yeah.
That's your
And my
Twitter
Instagram
handle.
handle.
Yeah. And of course your Ann Vora on Fortnite.
Which every time I play Fortnite, I'm so pleased with my name. So I look at other people's names and they got 17 numbers in their name or
Yeah.
something, Ann Vor. There's no other Ann Vor.
What's
A N
my
N
Fortnite
E
name,
V O
Ann? Do you
R.
remember?
Huh?
What's my Fortnite name?
It's something to do with that stupid character on Say Anything.
Keymaster.
Oh, I thought it was Lloyd Dobler.
Oh, maybe it is Lloyd Dobler.
It's Lloyd Dobler, something, something. It's not even Lloyd Dobler. You had to add numbers.
89. That's the year the movie came out. Yeah, you're right.
And then
Um,
you graduated high school. That's what I always thought it was from.
but I actually picked it because say anything.
Okay.
Maybe it
Yeah.
was dual. It certainly wasn't because of the year Taylor Swift was born.
No. Yeah.
Although no ill will to the
No
hey,
ill
Taylor,
will.
Taylor was being born. I was graduating from high school.
You were
Okay, I
graduating
still
high
have
school.
more pool stuff. This goes with one of the I thought you were going to tell a horseplay story. Mike Tankersley writing, so with no supervision, I don't even know who is supposed to be in charge at this point. Michael Tankersley, the pool's open, regular, everything's normal at the pool, except whoever's supposed to be is probably Fisher. I forget her first name. Lori Fisher's mom. What was her name?
I've never heard that name.
Michael Tankersley is riding bicycles off the diving board.
Oh, during pool
Pool's
time
open.
hours.
Mike Tankersley is a lifeguard, and he's right jumping bikes off the diving board into the water.
Seems pretty
Chaos.
wild.
Yeah.
Well,
One time,
you had a boss who was there every day, yeah?
it varied. So the Mary Beth Streff,
Oh,
uh,
Mary Beth Streff was
she was
working
my
the
boss
pool.
for a little while. So here's a Mary Beth. No, Mary Beth still reaches out once in a while, or
I
my
like Mary Beth. She was an art teacher, yeah?
yeah. She one day everyone it's raining. Rain is great when you're a lifeguard. So it's raining, no one's there. Everyone is in the concession stand eating concessions and hanging out and laughing and talking. It's raining. And she orders me and Jim Price. You remember Jim Price?
No.
She orders I have stories to tell about Jim Price. But I won't. Jim Price and I are ordered to go scrub the diving boards with a bucket and soap in the rain, mostly just because she could, because she was our boss.
Oh, yeah,
Like, this will be funny, guys. Let's
a little
send
power
Torg
hungry,
and
yeah.
Jim out there to scrub the diving boards.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so not great.
Not great, yeah.
Not great. I mean, I no, I
No
took
ill will,
whatever.
but
I went
yeah.
out there and scrubbed them. Okay. What else should I do, Ann? I think we're almost done, aren't we?
I think we're pretty wrapped up. We gotta watch the Colts win.
All right, I'll give you one more observation from Sedaris. Tell you about an article you can read. We'll be done. Okay. So one of the observations that I took was your fingerprint observation that we're all pretty much the same except for our fingerprints. So I like that one.
Okay, yeah.
And the other one is standing in a 2-hour line makes people worry that they're not living in a democratic nation.
Yeah, I can see what he's saying for sure. It's like am I being forced to stay in this line or is it voluntary? And it is voluntary. But I think the parents probably feel like they're being forced by the kids, and the kids are probably like, my parents are forcing me to stay in this line,
The Atlantic had an article this month about the one line Americans are willingly standing in,
which is what?
the self-checkout line.
Oh, self-checkout
So
line.
the article gave all these examples, and this is true at my local Lowe's. I do most of my shopping at Lowe's, mostly because it's on the way home from the high school. Um, Usually the self-checkout lines are longer than the checkout lines.
Oh, really? Ours are usually pretty even. The Target that I've been talking about, my local Target took out self-checking lines, I think because of theft. So
Hmm.
now we have to go in the lines. And sometimes I think, do I want to go there because I got to stand in line? So it's a question for me.
I think that one theory I have, I usually say yes to this. I feel like I I sort of have a rule that I just broke, which is like if I do something nice, whether it's monetarily or personally, if I if I tell someone about it, then it's gone. Like if there's anything such as karma, or
Right.
God saying,
You're not
good job on
videotaping
that,
your
Torg.
and posting your
It's
things. Yeah.
gone as soon as I tell someone. But so I've just done that to myself in this situation. But at Lowe's, they always ask if you want to buy a bag of groceries. You can either buy like a box of crackers,
Oh, right, for
you can
someone.
buy
Yeah.
a small bag, or you can buy a big bag. And I usually say yes to buying some of that.
Oh, congrats.
I think maybe people go over to the self-checkout so they don't have to say no to buying the stuff.
I don't know, maybe, but to me, it's like the last time I went to Target, I had an interaction, and it was like, this is too much. You're going too far. It was a young kid, and he was like, "Hey, do you know?" Because I handed him my bag. Do you know we actually don't charge for the bags here? Because in LA, they charge you for bags,
Yeah.
using bags. It's in order to try to make you use your own
Sure.
bag.
Hawaii, they did that as well.
Right. I
I
said,
like
no, I
it. I'm
didn't.
for it. I'm for it. Charge
Yeah,
for
I said I didn't know that actually. And then he talked to me like 3 minutes about bags and charging for bags and how Target doesn't charge for bags. And I was like, this is too much. I'm trying I'm trying to check out. This isn't interesting to me. I'm humoring you. Are you just bored? Yeah. And then I think another guy at Target was kind of a weirdo too, checking me out. And so I think to me it's to avoid the interactions for sure.
Okay, so it's just people who would rather not talk to anyone.
Yeah, people don't want to talk to you. I don't want you to judge. I bought like ice cream, some frozen cookies, and something else. And I thought, this is ridiculous what I'm buying here. It's such junk. And he didn't say anything, but in my mind, it was like, is he judging what I'm buying? And sometimes they do want to talk to you about what you're buying. I think that's one of the most negative thing about Trader Joe's is they'll hold up what you're getting and say something about it. And it's like, dude.
Reminds me of the really good Target, Kristen Wiig Target SNLs.
Yes, the Target lady.
Great. Yeah.
No one wants that.
And you're the one talking into kickoff now.
Yeah, sorry. I'm done.
All right, so I don't know. It might be Christmas music. It might be our diaries. It might be some other Christmas holiday season theme.
I'll tell you right now, my diary would take like 5 minutes of time, and that'll be it.
That's okay. I would comment on it probably.
That's not enough.
Or I would have it. Yeah. All right. And good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you. Go Colts. Bye-bye.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question?
I love you guys.